Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your humble host, Darren Green, back with another episode of The Darren Green Show. As you can see, it's just me, and I'm in my dormitory. That's if you're watching this on YouTube. But speaking of that, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Give me a comment. I'll tap the bell to get notified because you gotta do that on YouTube. For my listeners, please just give me a 5-star rating on iTunes or wherever else you're listening to this podcast. Yeah, so I'm back. And I normally don't like doing this because I just literally came out with an episode which featured one of my dearest friends, Maxine Antoine. We did a really great interview. It was a really interesting show. We were on live, and I don't think well, this is the second time we've been on live since I've been back in college. And once you have one project out, you don't want to do another one because it might affect the last episode's analytics. But we doing good. We are good on numbers as far as the podcast. Could work a little bit more on YouTube, but I guess that's another reason why I'm doing this on YouTube now. So yeah, I'm here. And I also wanted to talk about a couple things. Like I wanted to talk about the Wendy Williams biopic, and I also wanted to recap on the whole T.I and Tiny situation because I felt like there was more news that had came out the same day we did the show. And I guess I'm not considered a journalist, but I have some sort of integrity to continue the story and update the story should it be necessary, And I also want to talk about the Wendy Williams show because I didn't want to wait till Friday because I felt like ain't nobody talk about it in the next week. Not saying it wasn't good, but I'm just saying that it's not going to be trendy enough. And I don't want people to be like, all right, that's old news. We already know about this. We done seen it. Yada, yada, yada. So I'm talking about this shit now. You get it on Monday. All right. So, yeah, the Wendy Williams biopic. My thoughts on the whole biopic. I really anticipated this for just as long as she's been promoting it. The actress, Sierra Payton, she did a good job portraying the role of Wendy. My only issue was the accent. It was just a little bit too forced. Like if you're not from New York or you're not from like North Jersey and you have that accent, and I get it, like, Wendy Williams' accent is she has a unique accent. Like who it is when you hear her voice or whatever. So it's kind of hard to recreate that, and you're an actress, and it's not like you're not a broadcaster. The voice just was a little bit too forced for me. Everything else was fine. I felt like she portrayed Wendy just as much like she's Wendy. Like Sierra Payton is definitely Wendy. She acted phenomenally. Like I said, I thought the film was great. I said film. I thought the biopic was great. I was very surprised, and I know I don't want to sound like that person because like I've been a fanboy of Wendy. She's been the inspiration for like a long, long, long time, but getting to see her childhood is definitely like interesting. Like I could definitely relate to some of the things of her upbringing, into childhood to teen to adult life. Like, constantly made fun of her weight. This is something that I've also struggled with growing up as, in middle school and high school into adulthood. Being very talkative growing up and not being heard, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, respects to the mother, you get what I'm saying? Miss Mama Williams. But, the parents were not looked at in a good light. We see, her mom, her father saying, you need to lose weight constantly. And I was just like, oh my God. I'm not saying that was exactly how it was for me, but there was definitely, in my family, there was definitely some nudges for me to, try to do more and try to eat better and this, that, and the third. But you get what I'm saying? Like I put it past me or whatever, but like to see her go through that too, like it was like, wow, like I understand it. Maybe not as for a broadcaster's perspective because, every person is different, but, I definitely love seeing her doing that. Also being dogged by bum ass opportunistic niggas, like that was definitely, something that I'm going through now. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to people, people see us all the time on either on the internet, on air, like in her case on the radio, we're doing something, and that makes a space for opportunistic people to come into your life and to take what they take and leave you high and dry. So yeah, definitely there's a lot that I can relate to Wendy on, and there was a lot of things I was surprised about too. I didn't know that she had a situation with a artist. Like, this is spoilers, everybody, but she was date raped, and we never really heard about it. When we got to the documentary, like, she talked about it, and she was about to say his name, but she didn't. She saved him, which is her choice. Whether or not she wanted to expose the person. I literally thought the person was like that she called it. It was like a little fake name or whatever, but it was a real artist. And she went through a lot. I never knew that she married somebody before Kevin. Like, she had a brief marriage that she didn't want to talk about on the show, on the movie, but I was like, that's a little weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just like, even though you may think it's not important, it could have gave some type of character development. I don't know, but I just would have loved to see it, like, and not just it being mentioned. If you wasn't gonna put it on the show, you shouldn't have just mentioned it at all. But I don't know. Now, I knew she had miscarriages. She had trouble having kids. I had no idea that she had a stillborn. Miscarriage is one thing, but like a stillborn, like, that's, oh my goodness. She pushed out, and it was a girl, and she always wanted a girl. She always wanted to have a girl. It was really sad. It was really sad to see some of the parts of her story, because it was. I just never knew. Like, she's definitely, she's talking about everybody, like, as everybody, like I said, she talked about everybody, but you don't really know about her life. And when we get a piece of her life, it's like, wow, like, it's just as scandalous as the rest. But it was very, we're going to get to some of the things that I have a little gripe with the show. Another thing, I didn't know that she started off at in a small radio station in Washington, D.C. Like, I always thought that she went to college or whatever, and then, she was doing radio in college, and New York job picked her up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that there was a she had to start she literally had to start from the bottom. This is eye-opening for me, because I'm thinking, okay, once I need to get out of school, I need to get a job in the New York market, but it might not be that in my favor, and it's making me reevaluate what I want to do, and maybe I should start off in another city, in a smaller city, and work my way to New York, because that's essentially what she did. Once she came from her first radio station gig in Washington, D.C., then Hot 97 hit her up, and she became, talk show host on there, and she was moving around from Kiss FM to this radio station to that radio station. There's one point she had to go to Philly because there was she had a problem with her last employer when she was in New York. I think it either was Kiss FM or but whatever station it was, they wouldn't let her go to another station because there's some kind of law where it comes to like broadcasters, where it's like competition laws or whatever. It's like, you can't go to this person because then you'll compete and then we'll lose numbers or whatever the shit. So she had to go all the way to Philly. Okay. But she worked for them for many years, and she ended up coming back, and that's when she went to WBLS. And that's what, that's the start of her career. She's in, from there she was offered the idea of being on a show, and that's exactly what she did. I just love seeing that. Like, I know I joked on previous episodes talking about how, I'm going to take notes and this, that, and the third. I'm going to see how she did it. But, I'm not going to use any of the things that because, her path is going to be different from my path. It was just inspiring to watch someone that I want to not be, but something similar, talking about celebrity news, how she made it popular. Like, a lot of people don't talk about how she really made the whole celebrity news gossip tabloid medium. She made that a thing, because beforehand we had a lot of political commentators talking about political things. There wasn't a lot of people talking about celebrity news. And I think she basically was a pioneer in that. Because you don't really see nobody else. You see people after her. Like, I know growing up in my generation, when it came to tabloid media, you know, I thought of Perez Hilton, Wendy, you get what I'm saying? Because, you know, when I grew up, you know, she had the show. But when I look back into history, like, Wendy started off with the radio show, and she immediately took off. A lot of other people, we get E Network and all this other stuff, and now we got what we have today, which is everybody, honey. Everybody doing media. Everybody want to talk about celebrities, but it all started with Wendy. I would like to say, as my personal opinion, we all gonna have our opinions. At the end of the day, that's just what I seen. That's what I researched. Okay, and she definitely she was good at her job. You know, people loved, and I watched parts of the documentary. I didn't watch all of it, because it was a little sad. Like, it was too much for me. Like, I'm probably gonna watch it probably by the end of this week, but I couldn't continue on watching. But let me make sure. Let me look through these notes, make sure I'm not missing nothing. There was some holes in the story, I will say. I brought it up earlier that her first husband, why was he not in there? She left her son out. You know, there was allegations that Kevin was a beast. Like, I looked on videos. Like, a lot of people said that Kevin Hunter, like, her husband, former husband, was a beast. Okay, behind the scenes, like, it was a toxic, hostile work environment. I heard that well, I didn't hear, it was reported that he had gotten into a fight with his son and got him arrested. We didn't see none of that on the show. You know, she wanted to keep her son out of it, and if it was his choice, if he didn't want to be on the show, then okay, or in the movie, then okay. But I don't know, it seemed like she was still trying to save him, because he wasn't, like, most bad thing he did on this movie was cheat and then have a child by somebody else. But I heard it was child, the stuff that I was hearing, the sources, you get what I'm saying? So it was way worse. The fact that I was talking to my best friend about this, she didn't watch about it, was telling her about it. She was like, ain't nowhere in the world they ain't put that on there. Or what about that time when she went to work in a sling? Well, that wasn't on there. Like, and I'm not trying to say that it was a rush towards the end, but the end was a little quick. Like, it was a little quick. Like, I'm like, you in rehab now. You trying to reform your life with this, that, and the third. But, like, there was a whole lot of other stuff. There was, like, when you were, like, slurring your words in one of the other episodes, and we were trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you. Like, there's a whole lot. That's why I feel like I think she should have just waited, and not to say waited till, like, the end, like, waited till you're not on TV no more, because there is going to come a time where you're going to have to retire, or there's going to be a time where, I don't know, because Joan Rivers never retired. She worked to the very, well, she was on fast food. Anyway, I'm over here talking to myself. Well, I mean, hey, there's going to come time when you want to take a break. There's going to be time when you want to retire. I feel like you should have waited just a little bit longer, because it seemed like the ending was just, there's still more to the story, and it just seemed like it left out a lot of things. So like I said, yeah, Kevin just wasn't ferocious enough. Like, I thought he was going to be the villain, but he just ended up just being a cheater, which he still could be considered a villain, but, you know, I just thought it would be a little bit more. The documentary, like I said, I didn't watch it all, but I remember she said this to, like, one of her family members, or I think she said this. She said that, you know, I had to become my own best friend, and that part, it was that part. No, because I really feel that, and she comes from a family of 3, I believe. She got a brother and a sister, but, like, I'm the only child, and I feel like that like spoke to me. Like the fact that she said she had to be her own best friend. Like, yes, like I have a best friend. You know, I have people that I call friends, associates, would name it, what have you. I got some coworkers. You get what I'm saying? But like, there's times where I'm like, yeah, I have to be my own best friend, or in certain circumstances, and I have to be on my own, and in order for me to grow and stuff. So it's like, you know, a long time I would be upset and, you know, like, why am I not making the friends that I'm making? But eventually, you know, I kind of got comfortable just being by myself, and now I love it. But she also said she believed she was cursed when she had the stillborn. She believed that she was cursed because she was talking about people. Like, I was like, wow. Like, I never thought that she ever, because I thought she was always confident about, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to stop. She was like that, but I never thought that she would think, like, oh my God, I'm cursed or whatever. It almost makes me kind of feel like, because, you know, I talk about celebrities too. So it's like, shit, is that going to happen to me? Like, am I going to have bad luck? Like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, she's doing her job. I don't think Wendy ever did anything that was just like completely, cause let's be honest. Like, Wendy told what she thought was the news. She told what she thought was, you know, trending or whatever. And in the beginning, yeah, radio stages, like, she didn't use allegedly enough, and she didn't vet. She was what you call a Tasha K back in the day. Okay, saying news that didn't have facts. But I feel like when she got to television, she gained a little bit more integrity when it comes to the news. Because what, you're on TV, you have to talk, you have to say allegedly enough, you have to use sources that are accredited, and I think that's what it is. I think if you still hate Wendy Williams because she's doing her job, like, you need to hate these other podcasters and other entertainment media personalities for doing the same thing. I mean, let's be honest. I'm gonna bring up this one person, Jason Lee. Like, let's really be honest. Like, he does the same thing, but I think it's a lot worse. Now, I'm not dogging him because he's doing his job. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm a big barb. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to hate him because he's doing his job. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I just think that it just seems a little, you know, when a woman does it, it's an issue, but we see a lot of men in doing the whole entertainment media, and sometimes I get a little pushback too, and I understand. I'm like, okay, well, that's how you feel. That's your fave, and you upset because I said this about your fave, and yeah, this, that, and the third. But I'm doing my job. It is what it is. I wish I had my bomb button, but I cannot wait till I get this new mixer. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I thought the biopic was interesting. A lot of people felt like it wasn't giving it that much, like it wasn't going in that much. I mean, even though I felt like things were left out, I definitely feel it was entertaining. Like, I was glued to the fucking TV or to my phone because I don't have a TV in here. It was definitely entertaining, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking as a perspective of like a person that's interested in this, and, you know, an inspiring talk show hosts or whatever you want to call me. I don't know. Or, you know, maybe that's just not your thing, but I thought it was good. You know, definitely better than that damn salt and pepper shit. Let's not get there. Anyway, I wanted to move on to give you guys an update on the whole T.I Tiny allegation. So, as you know from last episode, this woman that was friends of the couple claimed that they are sex traffickers that target young underage women. And she had some receipts of people that recounted times where they lured them in. T.I Tiny lured girls in to have sex with, and some were underage, just some that they drugged, this, that, and the third. Well, I feel obligated to update you on the story because T.I makes a response on Instagram. Take a look.
That's the motive. That's the strategy. That's the intention. Say a whole bunch of false stuff about you that get people to believe and make them come out and say, they're a liar, they're a liar, they're a liar. And then they can say, see, they call me a liar. That's defamation. Then they drag you in court, get you under oath and all that. Because unfortunately right now, it doesn't matter as much what they can prove you did. It matters what you can prove you didn't. You know what I mean? And that's just an unfortunate place that our society has made it to. But I want to be clear about one thing. Women who have been victimized deserve to be heard. Women, black women in particular, should be supported, protected, defended, and uplifted. However, evil has no gender. People with evil intentions have no gender. A threat comes in all shapes and sizes. I would never treat a woman the same way I would treat a threat. All right? So I think that has to be distinguished. First and foremost, I want to say my wife is a beautiful person with an amazing spirit and a kind heart. She's a devoted mother, and she has a humble soul. She don't deserve it. She don't deserve it. Now, what we're not going to do is open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in and chime in and make their opinions about what we do and don't do or should or shouldn't do. But I will say this. Whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults who into what we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go to get it. We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We ain't never made nobody do anything. We ain't never trafficked anything.
Now, he admits to having encounters with consensual adults. Okay. He says, look, we didn't do nothing with no underage woman. We vet our people because, you know, it's no secret that T.I Tiny, you know, and it's not an issue as long as, like he said, consensual adults. He also posted some screenshots from various blog sites of the sources that came out and said that they were victims, saying that they were lying. Like, there was a couple text messages saying like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they believe me. Like, I didn't even say all that. Like, I just did it for clout, this, that, and third. I don't know. But we're going to get into that. Cause here's my thing. If I'm trying to get clout, you know, for lying, or maybe just because I'm a good liar, I'm not going to tell nobody that I lied, especially not on no text message where somebody can screenshot. It just sounds a little bit fishy to me. And it's only two people. It's only two or a couple different people saying that, you know, I lied. In which, hey, I mean, they said she had over like 20 different people that had recounted those times or whatever, where they felt like they were being targeted and stuff and were recruited or whatever. But like, I'm pretty sure out of those 20, somebody probably lied about it. Like, but there could be some truth in those 20, you know? Like I said, I wouldn't lie. I would not tell nobody that I'm not sure about that, hey, I lied just to get some clout. Like, that's just not something that clout chasers do. Clout chasers don't admit that they're clout chasing, if that makes any sense. And then Shekinah, you know, we gotta talk about her. She backtracks. Okay. This is what she had to say.
So mad at me, I ain't did nothing to her. Okay. So what I'm saying to y'all is, a friend of mine, Willie, told me that Sabrina would go and get women for her and her boyfriend, Patrick. So I was just saying to her, like, damn, all this stuff you saying, allegedly, you do it too, right? But I'm not condoning none of it, okay? Let me tell you about me, okay? I don't know Tiny for being this person that people are speaking on. And this is on my life.
So it was all Willie. Yep, it's all his fault. He's the one that told me the situation. He told me, and I was just reciprocating. I was just trying to defend myself. Girl, anybody was talking about you. This ain't had nothing to do with you. Now, I'm not sure if Sabrina said some slick shit about you during this whole debacle, but you definitely came off very defensive out of nowhere because no one brought your name into anything. And what you did was you wanted to come for Sabrina, but it also was collateral for T.I and Tiny because you said she was the recruiter, meaning that they were doing those things and Sabrina was the recruiter. And now you're saying that, oh no, I heard that she was. It's looking very idiotic, stupid. Like, she's giving very much like, girl, like, they definitely sat her ass down and was like, bitch, you need to get back on live. And tell the motherfuckers that you heard that shit about that shit. Like, it wasn't true, factual, or whatever. Like, child, they better hope that this never gets into this never becomes a serious investigation, because let me tell you something, that girl will fold at the first fucking interrogation. I'm telling you. She said, look, they did it. I could just see her now. Shekinah should have shut her ass up, and that's basically what this is. All right. At the end of the day, we got Sabrina's side and we got T.I.'s side. The truth is not clear, but I understand that you probably don't believe Sabrina because she's painted as this lunatic. And unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of big name media personalities that are automatically believing T.I.'s side or on his side. And I won't say no names. We don't do that here. But remember, you know, T.I. only had a couple of examples of women that said that they didn't do it. And Sabrina has a handful. Now, despite, if you think like, they said about what, 10 or 20 of her people that claimed that they were assaulted or whatever. I don't think they're all lying. I think that I do think that there's some truth to something. Hey, it's just me. That's just how I'm feeling. He also didn't address the whole thing about putting a gun to Sabrina's head. Like, was it true or not? We didn't get that. So there's a lot of holes. There's too many holes in the story, and I do believe it's on both parties. Okay. Definitely Sabrina got some holes in her story. She do look a little crazy in some instances, but there's a lot of holes in T.I and Tiny's story. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I did not agree with you saying your whole response to her saying that he put a gun to her head was, oh, but they called him uncle 2 years ago. And I do understand that people lie, you know, for clout, for money. But I also know some celebrities that make up some stuff, i.e. every celebrity that was hit with an assault charge during the whole Me Too era. I don't need to bring them up. Okay. Shout out to the Impressive Channel. Because I feel like the Impressive Channel kept it neutral. Like, she said alleged enough, and she said we do not know yet. However, for these other blogs, and I'm not gonna say nobody's name, y'all piece that together. You know, I think our jobs is to tell the truth and to not stick with these public figures that are toxic. Like, I get it, like they were on your show or they paid for promotion, but like now they're immune to exploitation. Like, I don't think so. And then you want to call it unpopular opinion. Oh, I don't comply with the masses' opinion. I do my own research. Mind you, 5 other shows said the same shit. Make that make sense. Okay. And I hate to bring it back to her. Everybody want to be Wendy. They want to be Wendy so bad, but they do not want to do the work and they do not want to be hated. Like, the thing about Wendy, though, the thing about I admire her so much is because everybody get this work. She done had everybody on her show and talk shit about everybody she had on her show. Okay. She keep that same energy with everybody. She's not friends with these celebrities. Okay. She probably don't take paid promotions to because you can't pay for my opinion. You know, and that's why I think she's a big inspiration in the media industry, because it's like, you gotta, like, at some point, you can't have favorites and you can't have friends in the media. Like, that is so immature. And I get it, there's no rules in this game that we play, but like, you just lose a little bit of integrity. I'm sorry, if you over here protecting these celebrities and half of them motherfuckers is toxic as hell. I said what I said. I don't comply with the masses, or I don't comply with all what media personalities have to say just because, like, girl. But like T.I said, the truth will come out of the light. All right. And until then, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Until next time, I'm your host, Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show, signing out. All right.